Well, it's time now for a business update, and for that, we head to the Swiss Alps. That's where the World Economic Forum is taking place. Our business editor, Kate Moody, following all the events for us there in Davos. Kate, what do you have for us?
Hi, Molly. Well, all eyes have been on Theresa May as she addressed the World Economic Forum here in Davos this morning, following on from that 12-point Brexit plan that she announced earlier this week. Now, she didn't give much more details there, really. Said the UK should remain an open society that was open for business, and she said she was hoping to establish a customs union with the European Union. Now, while business leaders have welcomed the clarity provided by her recent remarks, the political reaction here in Davos has been much more chilly. Many European leaders in particular saying that the UK should not expect to get a really good deal once it's no longer a member of that insiders club. Meanwhile, attention here will begin turning to Friday's inauguration of Donald Trump. And to talk a little bit more about that, I'm joined here by Tom DeRosa, Chief Executive of Welltower Inc. It's a healthcare infrastructure company in the United States. You're also a governor of the World Economic Forum's healthcare industry group. Now, the headline issue for the moment is the pending repeal of Obamacare. President-elect Trump wants to make that one of his top priorities. What state does that leave the healthcare industry in the United States?
Well, there's still a lot of questions, and because we're still operating under the assumption of repeal and replace. I'm trying to be cautiously optimistic. Couple of things. If we listen to Mr. Trump's rhetoric, I would expect you'll see less regulation and more competition. So that actually might drive down health insurance costs, which is a good thing for the population. So I think we're going to also see more of the healthcare burden shifted to the individual in the future. And Welltower focuses on providing wellness care to an aging population, which is a private pay business. So we think we're almost a model for what healthcare needs to look like in the future.
Now, how does the U.S. healthcare system compare to some of the other industries around the world? What have you been hearing from others here in Davos?
Well, I think some of the themes, at least in the healthcare governors, is the whole concept of value-based healthcare. So how do we lower healthcare costs and improve outcomes? And that is a mandate that is shared by both the developing world and the developed world.
Well, one analysis that was released recently by the World Economic Forum does suggest that wasted money is one of the biggest problems in the sector. How does that get fixed? How can you improve that situation around the world?
Well, let's talk about it with respect to healthcare. I think you need to shift the focus to wellness, which is good nutrition, hydration, physical mobility, and social engagement. These are leading factors that promote good health and well-being. And if we can particularly take our aging population around the world and maintain wellness in their lifestyle, we have a great shot of significantly lowering healthcare costs because they are the biggest consumers of acute care costs.
And aging is certainly a problem that's being addressed in populations around the world. What's the most cost-effective but still compassionate way to deal with an aging society?
The most compassionate way to deal with an aging society is, number one, to recognize that they are a force. This is not a population that needs to be in the shadows. One thing you've heard at Davos is, for the first time, the 65 and up population is growing faster than the 15-year-old and below population. We are entering the silver economy. And that is going to provide many challenges across all industries, particularly healthcare. So we need to recognize that aging people are still vital members of our society, and we need to keep them well so they can bring all of their energies, intellect, and experience to improving the world.
Just briefly, if we head back to the United States, we look at the situation there the next 4 years. Most people, regardless of party affiliation, agree that there needs to be some kind of reform to the healthcare sector there. What do you think would be the best solution?
Well, I am optimistic that having a Secretary of Health and Human Services nominee who is a physician is going to benefit policies with respect to healthcare out of Washington. I think that we can start to focus on the individual versus regulation. That should benefit all of us.
DeRosa, thank you so much for speaking to us on France 24. We've just got time for a quick check on the markets now. We're seeing a mostly negative but fairly muted trading session for the European markets. Investors very much focused on the meeting of the European Central Bank over in Frankfurt. Mario Draghi expected to defend his stimulus program as necessary to continue to bolster growth throughout the year. We'll be bringing you more from Davos later on in the program. Stay tuned.
All right, Kate, thank you very much for that. Kate Moody reporting from Davos.